not exaggerating when I call this a historic year because of all the fantastic gifts I received. Here's what I got from my girlfriend for my birthday. Bob Arnott sent me a package with a lot of useful bits and bobs. Patrick of McLean 187 gave me this T34-76 for our body build. Danielle of Felice Barcelonensis sent me this wonderful kit for one of my 2 Bacchus build entries. Andy of Tactical Jackalope sent me this Stück 3 for my 2nd entry. And he sent me this Badger airbrush. Switcher gave me this airbrush. I equipped it with a 0.2mm needle. He also gave me wire of different gauges. Stefan Höchst sent me a couple of wonderful gifts. The first one was this compressor that works great. Then he sent me the SU-122 from Tamiya. I love these old kits. There are no better ones for scratch building. Next gift from Stefan was this Willis Jeep Ambulance, the only artillery Jeep version I never built before. And now this, a 1963 Chevy Nova SS from Trumpeter. Stefan was very generous. Dennis of Dillon sent me my first aircraft kit since 1978. I love the FW-109. Dennis also gave me the ME-262, one of the few jet fighters I like and a must-have. Mark O'Neill of Armor Empire sent me this Academy kit, and I've got some big plans with it.
Chocolate fudge.
Stevie Gibson sent me one set of magic tracks for the Stück 3. A set of Dragon Indie Link tracks.
A stroll in Central Park.
And this fantastic hobby knife set with the best handles and blades I ever had.
Malibu.
Simon Kemp provided me with these useful airbrush accessories. Last but not least, I received 2 great books from Steve Mottram, which I read at least 3 times each.
Loves pantomime, shooting glances, time to time. Champagne bubbles, Cupid's brew, to usher in the rising moon. Oh, my heart whistles a happy tune. I'm in just that kind of a mood. Dance until the crack of dawn.
This old dial was the topic of my first YouTube video.
Venus beams up.
Here you can see the use of guitar strings as aerials.
Fields of gold shell.
The scratch-built engine of the M3.
Around the world, just me and you.
And the silly mistake I made with the Jeep's windshield. 2 soldiers looking at the kids' toys.
Pantomime.
A rear view of the M3 with the antenna mount and the wiring.
Champagne bubbles.
The scratch-built top with all the straps, handles and tie-downs. There was a German sniper in this ruin. The ruin was entirely built from scratch.
I'm in just that kind of a mood.
Another mistake. And what my figures looked like in 2008.
Holding hands, love's pantomime, shooting glances, time to time. Champagne bubbles, Cupid's brew, to us.
The RS-03, the Beetle, the Pack and the figures were built and painted in 2008. Only the Dio was built in 2016. I'll leave you alone with the pictures.
Embracing by the fireside, I look into those big blue eyes, and that big question comes to mind. Wedding bells will say I do forever. Now it's just we two. I'll have my cake and eat it too. I'm in just that kind of a mood. I'm in just that kind kind of a mood. I'm in just that kind of mood.
I built this die for the ISM group built from Russia with love. All buildings in the interior were scratch built. This die won 3rd prize. Only the toilet bowl was bought.
Keep it simple.
This body build shows that my channel name isn't a joke. I'm building and painting this tank since May or June. There's a lot of scratch building involved.
Keep it simple.
Here are a couple of pics of my 2 entries for the Bacchus build. I started painting both tanks, but the latest pics aren't edited yet.
And keep it simple.
The British cruiser tank Vedette was built and painted in 2009, and this was the first time I did painting with oils. The infantry soldiers were built and painted the same year. The French civilians still aren't painted. While Claire the goat is done. I built the Normandy farm wall from scratch. In front of the wall there'd be this bench. conversion of the GMC tank truck came to an unexpected stop after I did some scratch building on the tanks, the chassis and the front axle. I'll have to change the cab's floor plate and firewall to make the engine fit. These are most of my new kits. There are some more figure sets, but these are the kits I did reviews on. First airbrush in 40 years of modeling. 3 new cutting mats. The largest one is a gift I received from Harry Houdini. A new aluminum ruler with anti-skid pads. Another new hobby knife. My first razor blade saw. I bought almost 50 new paintbrushes, of which 35 are really great and the rest is for tougher paint jobs. I spent 15 euros on them all together, but they are much better than one would think they'd be for that little money.